This is the Mark Levin Show, where American patriots meet every day. The Mark Levin Show is on at 877-381-3811.
You know what, folks? That article I read earlier in the first hour by Roger L. Simon about a revolution, I tell you what, it's all I can do to keep my fury under control. So the Obama administration, the Abomination administration, they put off the requirement for businesses of 50 or more employees to adopt Obamacare for 1 year to get past the midterm election, because it's going to have a devastating impact on the gross domestic product and on employment numbers. And Republican former Congressional Budget Office Director Douglas Holtz-Eakin, this is in Time, called the move deviously brilliant by removing a potential electoral impediment from in front of congressional Democrats before the midterms. Democrats no longer face the immediate specter of running against the fallout from a heavy regulatory imposition on employers across the land, he said. Explaining away the mandate was going to be a big political lift. Having the White House airbrush it from the landscape is way better. I'm telling you, folks, they put it off 1 year because they're playing political games. The devious, disgusting administration. They play with our lives. They play with our health care. They play with our families. They don't want the true effects of this law felt in the middle of an election, when it's exactly when it ought to be felt. And so first they want to get reelected. First, Obama wants to see if he can take the House. If he can once again control every element of the elected parts of our government, so he can ram through more Marxist claptrap and transform the greatest country on the face of the earth to what? So we got to get through another election. So they push off one of the main failures of Obamacare. They don't change it. They're not going to eliminate it. They're not going to adjust it. No, they're putting it off a year, pushing it past the midterm elections. Gee, we didn't realize that, did we? We didn't recognize what he's up to, did we? They have nothing but contempt for we the people. They have nothing but contempt for the electoral process, in which candidates are supposed to run on their records and their promises, not try and cover them up, to muscle through an election just to punish us the next time around. Unbelievable. And where do we go, folks? Where do we go for relief? Where do we go? Can't go to the courts. They're gone. Can't go to the Republicans. They're too busy spending months trying to figure out how to confer citizenship on foreigners who are here illegally. They're preoccupied. But the Democrats, the administration, the Senate, the minority in the House, they march along, they plot, they scheme, they strategize, they keep advancing their agenda one giant step at a time. And then those of us who speak out, call them out, demand action by the Republicans, and point to the Constitution. There's something wrong with us, you see. So Obama delays health care law employer penalty until 2015 as he hopes to skate past the midterm elections and pick up a majority in the House where Nancy Pelosi would be in charge again. And let us never forget, she and the Democrat Party and Reid in the Senate and Obama in the White House, they delivered this Obamacare and they imposed it on us, each and every one of us. Let me tell you something, Boehner. You're a very, very lucky man. We have such dripping contempt for what this president and his party are doing and have done, that you just skate around figuring that you'll You'll be reelected Speaker. You'll have your majority on those grounds alone. Well, I don't think you will, as disgusted as we are with what's going on. If you're not careful, my grave concern is many people are going to stay home, just as they did in the last presidential election. Whether you think it's wise or not is irrelevant. That's what people do when they're turned off. And you don't give them reason to support you. So Obama, he's not deviously brilliant, sir. He's just devious. Very much the lumphead, actually. How brilliant do you have to be to put things off until after an election? What? Brilliant? No, it's not. It's devious. And you see, individuals are treated differently. Individuals are treated differently. Why? They're treated differently because a relatively small percentage of our population purchases their own health care and have individual coverage. So Obama doesn't give a damn about that. You know, like little businesses and so forth. Who cares about them? Everything's about politics. Everything is about empowering themselves. Everything is about expanding the government. And here we go again. Well, we'll put it off for a year. This Obamacare bill could be the death of the Democrat Party. But the Republicans won't kill it. They won't do it. They won't wrap it around them. And you want to know why? Yes, it's partly because they're incompetent boobs. But there's another thing. Some of them like it. Some of them have friends who are lobbyists for entities that benefit from this. Our consultant class and the operatives in Washington, a lot of them like it. They don't want to do away with it. They don't make money, get paid by you. They get paid by these people in Washington, D.C. who need them. I just don't know how long the American people are going to put up with it. See, the problem is half or more of the American people have been bought off. Bought off. I've got mine. What's the problem? I get my check. I get this. So they get much more than they ever paid into any system. And they're perfectly fine. Hey, it works fine for me. They've given up on America. They're welfare recipients. And by that, I don't just mean the poor. I mean people who get these checks and think they should get more, even though they know they shouldn't. So they're perfectly happy with this system. The Titanic goes down. They don't even think it's going to. What's the big deal? I'm doing great. I'm getting free this. I'm getting free that. You're getting free nothing, dimwit. You're stealing from somebody else. You're using the government and the voting booth to elect people who are nothing short of thieves. And that's what they do. So now they're going to put off this requirement on businesses with over 50 employees, because you want to know why? Because these businesses with over 50 employees were going to lay people off. We're going to turn full-time workers into part-time workers, or just dump their entire system and dump all these employees into these state exchanges. We can't have that before a midterm election. No, we want to win. Obama did the same damn thing for his own election. All the hard part after the election, not before. And then they claim, well, the American people like this, Well, the surveys don't show. Well, they'll learn to like it. But they won't run on it. Oh, they'll run on the theory of it. They'll run on the promises, but they won't run on the actual effects of it, will they? You know what, folks? You're smart. That's why you don't trust the federal government. Because you're smart. Because you're knowledgeable. Because you're rational human beings. You're smart. This is why I don't trust them when it comes to immigration. And all these Republicans falling all over themselves. Oh, we put this trigger in here. We got this in here. We're going to put more funds in here. We got all kinds of border patrol. We're going to do. And who's in charge? Obama. Oh, well. Well, that's just now. What about later? What do you mean later? You're legalizing millions of people right now. No. They got to speak English. They got to stand on their head. They got to salute this way. Oh, really? And what happens if they don't do it? I don't know. You ain't going to deport them. That much I know. No, the whole effort here is so we're liked. We got to get back in their good graces. Isn't that what Dummy said from South Carolina? Goober. Oh, yeah, it's Goober. He's got it all figured out. Him and his same-sex friend, McCain. Well, there you have it, folks. Getting screwed over one more time. If you don't think the system's broken, I don't know what it's going to take. If you believe that Washington is going to fix itself, I don't know what it's going to take. If you believe that these people are capable of reform when they're deviously scurrying around looking for ways to fool you, to screw you, talk about in the shadows, they operate in the shadows, outside the shadows, wherever they want. You're the object, folks, of their scorn. You're the ones being targeted. You're just a statistic. Your family doesn't mean anything. It's just incredible what we've become. This is not the America that our founding fathers established. This is not the constitutional republic that the framers of the Constitution established. This is something else. This is very alien to our heritage. It really is. And those who wish to deny it, well, shame on them. How can you not love your government if you love your country? Jackasses. We love our country and we love our Constitution. We don't like our phone numbers being taken. We don't like our black boxes in our cars. We don't like our smart registers. We don't like all these cameras at the stoplights. Excuse me. We don't like the IRS taking all our financial information and the federal government through Obamacare getting our medical information. Oh, you must be black helicopter nuts. Well, while we're at it, we don't like all those drones in the sky either. We're the black helicopter nuts. They're the drone nuts. Don't you think you're overreacting? I mean, come on. Can't you cool it? Sure. Sure I can. Yeah, I can crack some jokes. Sure. Could talk about spaghetti. Hey, what kind of pasta do you like, Mr. Producer? You like the fennel or the what do you like? Who cares? Country's going to hell, and I'm supposed to act like a court jester. Leave it to the others to do that. Hillsdale College, folks, what are you doing this 4th of July? Cooking out? I hope so. Watching the fireworks? Well, our men and women in the military on their various bases, they won't be watching fireworks because apparently there's not enough money. There's enough money to fly off